This is the beginning and the end.
You're listening to the Epic Podcast Show with your hosts, Lignar, Walmardian,
He told me to tie her up and do whatever I wanted to her. So I took a stereo.
and Medicakes.
Do you think the expansion will make me fat?
Enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Hey folks, you're listening to Epic Podcast. We are a peanut butter podcast for the WoW community. I am Medicakes, and with me is Lignar
Hey guys.
and Walmardian, also known as Peanut Butter Balls.
Hate so much. Hate flames on the side of my face.
Good movie.
Breathing, breathing. Hi guys.
Great movie reference, dude. Great movie reference.
I appreciate that. What the hell? Why are you going straight to obscure reference no one knows from about 2 hours ago?
Actually, to be fair, it was more like 5 minutes ago, but...
No,
Yeah.
when it originated.
Oh, when it originated, sure, but we were talking about it all during the pre-show.
Yes. This is why you gotta come to the live streams, guys.
It's okay, nobody knows what I think nobody knows except for maybe Leg about the whole Peter Dinklage thing.
I
It's
don't.
awesome.
Yeah, somebody... he sounds British, I'm not really sure, and I would look it up right now, except I'm afraid it would play over the stream.
Here,
It's a-
let me go get that link.
It's a guy who, yeah, put it in the chat room for folks to get it. But it's a guy who took the Game of Thrones theme song and just repeated the name Peter Dinklage over and over in tune with the song. And
Nice.
there's a picture of a
There we
toy,
go.
a Tyrion toy, and it's just rotating around. And he even went so far as to put the lyrics in the description of the video in YouTube, so it just says Peter Dinklage over and over and over and over and over.
I love it. I was going to open up with a podcast, but it didn't. No,
It didn't come out. It didn't work.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Epic Podcast, the Peter Dinklage podcast for the Peter Dinklage community.
We're a Peter Dinklage fan site. We love that little man.
Actually, I
His
really do.
Dinklage.
He's a
I
phenomenal
do like
actor.
his Dinklage. I would touch his Dinklage all night long.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry.
Would you
I'm
dip it in
sorry.
peanut butter?
Well, I mean, if it got me on Game of Thrones, I might. Can you
Oh.
just kill me?
Let's just carry on, shall we? Anyways, we can wow. Dealing with you two, and reading with that Fert, we ended up getting Garage down to 14% on our best try, which is pretty freaking awesome. So hopefully, a couple more wipes and then we'll be killing that bastard finally. Rated with the good Hosen style. I'm a hunter, and I also joined Sean, Pagan Geek from a bit of Geek and Nerdery, and his lovely guild just a few minutes before we started doing the pre-show in Throat of Thunder, and we almost got a horde on down, but we died. But it was awesome. And the way that one of what is her name? Her two name? Hopefully he's reigning still right now. But Lisa, the way that she explains the boss fights, it's so the boss is going to do stuff, and then we're going to do stuff to counteract his stuff. And then he's going to do more stuff, and then we're going to do more stuff, and then hopefully we'll win. And that was like the whole raid strategy. It was awesome. Yes, Lisa. Anyways, that's been my week in WoW. So what about you, peanut butter jelly time?
Well, you were there earlier. You saw a little bit of what was going on. More leveling of the 30 characters, more onward to level 90 part 2, streaming, recording, and leveling. And Yeah, we had quite the epic live stream earlier in my Twitch channel, and oh, God, it was bad. And that's where this whole peanut butter thing comes from. I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want to talk about it. But I am pushing the characters up. I'm also pushing my warlock up. He is now, I think, 52. And the onward characters are about 56 now, so they're in that range. And again, I have the shaman is 88, and I have a DK at 85. So we're nearing the last. Those are the last 4 that will hit the make for the 30 mark. So working on those, playing some Hearthstone from time to time, but pretty much I've been chilling out, not doing too much in game as much as I have been. I'm definitely feeling the burnout, and obviously I'm leveling these characters, but I can definitely see how people are burning out a bit. And like I said, I'm just leveling. I'm not even doing end game stuff. So I even tiptoed into the WildStar beta a few days ago, and it's not bad. It's not. I don't think I certainly wouldn't buy it and subscribe to it, but it's not a half bad distraction and a secondary game if you were looking at one. Of course, I said the same thing about like SWTOR and stuff too, so take that as you will. But it's interesting. It's like I said, it's a nice different game to have around. So yeah. So what about you, Lake? What's been your weekend? Wow.
My weekend, wow, raided a little bit with Furt. Didn't raid Sunday with Furt, so I wasn't there for the Garrosh attempts. Which just Sunday has been really hard for me in the past few months, and I'm hoping I can be there for a Garrosh kill when it happens. Leveled up my Crusader today to 70 in Diablo because they're doing a promotion for Diablo 3's 2-year anniversary tomorrow. It starts tomorrow on the 15th. Yeah, it starts on the 15th. With a double the chance of getting a legendary item, and it goes for a week. So got him up to 70 so I can play a little bit, and we're planning on playing some during the marathon. So that way any legendaries I get would be level appropriate and not one it's like for level 69, and you know what I mean? It's useless then. Even I don't know how that works. It probably still would have been okay. Playing some Hearthstone here and there, and running LFR on my Shaman that I'm taking into the Alliance Flex run, and I have learned this week why I stopped running LFR. And it has nothing to do with the usual complaints. It's that Medi and I queued for Wing 4 today, and we had a 1-hour queue time.
Mm-hmm. Even
with her queued as healer.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what, fuck this, we'll do it later.
And it was for Downfall. It was the last wing. So I guess just not a lot of people want to do that wing because.
Yeah. Well, I took a picture of it and then put it on Twitter, and some folks were joking with me, but they're like, dude, L2 heal and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I queued with a healer. That should have been my insta ticket. And even queuing with Medi when heals, it's still we've sat in queue for 15-20 minutes a few times, and I know that's not long it's not an hour. It's quick by some people's standards, but it's a lot slower than I'm used to seeing when a healer is in queue with you. But that's about it for me. I have fully come to grips with the fact that I suck with Hearthstone. So,
okay, what's that about?
Dude, it doesn't matter what I do, what deck I play. It's just there's decks out there, and I'm rank 18, I think, and it's just I think at that level of deck there's cheese decks, and that's how people. That sounded funny.
Oh God.
Hey, that might be it.
Cheesy balls. That's Netflix.
But yeah, it seems like there's some decks out there that are just cheese, and I never do well against cheese. Like in StarCraft, if somebody 6 pools me, they just fucking win. If somebody 4 gates me or cannon rushes me, or they just win. Because I just can't do that and do what I need to do at the same time. It's a mental thing. The only time it's ever worked well with me is in poker. But and that's not really the same type of game. So, but yeah, I think that's it. Where
Crap.
you get somebody, what?
I just saw who popped in the chat room.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Shh.
If we ignore him, he'll go away.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Xerxes.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just I get the light spawn, double health, give it Wind Fury, that kind of shit. And it's just, I don't think give it Wind Fury. I don't think you can do that with a priest. But you see what I mean? It's like I had one today. He had a 32. Whatever the Blood Knight that absorbs all the
bubbles,
and gets a +2/+2, I think, for each one he does.
Yeah.
And then doubled his attack. So he ended up at like 32. Just one hit and I'm done. And it's like the 6th turn or something like that. And it's just like, and I know it's completely fair. It's just I don't have the ability to build a deck to counteract that kind of shit. And it's frustrating when I encounter it. So I log in, I do my quest, and I'm done. I'll buy some cards when I get to 1,000 gold. I'm trying to keep about 500 gold because we don't know what the wings for Nax are going to cost. So.
I see.
But that's it for me. Outside of game, I've been on a few motorcycle rides trying to get my legs under me again on the bike. So, yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay.
Wow, that is some great faux interest you have there, Joe.
Well, I just, as somebody that has struggled through Hearthstone, and I feel like, I've gotten over a lot of that, and I've come out to the other side of it. I just want to like sit down with you and look at decks and just kind of see how you play and just like.
And I would rather spend that energy in Heroes of the Storm. I'm just saying, it's like, it's not that I hate Hearthstone. It's just that if I got to pick a game that I want to spend time improving my play at, it's Heroes, not Hearthstone.
Okay.
So, anywho, you want to go ahead and jump in and talk about some of the news for the past week?
Sure. Certainly.
All right. Well, BlizzCon tickets are sold out. Like that's any surprise to anybody.
Shocking.
And we don't have any websites or anything like that to put in the show notes or anything like that. But I personally didn't hear anything and about. Well, okay. Let me put it this way. There was a lot of rumblings about how EventBrite's process sucked.
Right.
There's video of it. I think Elvine had video of it to where it was telling you there were no tickets left, and then you could refresh, and boom, hey, you can buy tickets. And it's just very inconsistent and that sort of thing. I heard Saturday was a better... what, Maddie?
No. It's just like Skolnick. Skolnick was in queue, and I think he said even though he was in queue, it doesn't mean that you are guaranteed the tickets. I'm like, well,
that's no different.
It's no different. Yeah. I was just trying to remember everything that I've heard about EventBrite.
Yeah, I mean, I heard horror stories, and like somebody, I think it was the Warcraft Stats Twitter account, which is a fun parody account, but they basically said basically it was whoever got tickets really liked the EventBrite process, and whoever didn't hated it. So I thought that was kind of funny, but I'm not spoken to anybody personally. I just seen commentary on social media. I do hope and Blizzard claims that EventBrite was to help them fight scalping and that kind of stuff, and scalping is happening. Frankly, the fact that scalping is happening, when people say the BlizzCon is too expensive, the fact that scalping happens is evidence that it's not. Because if Blizzard says 200, and I know there's actually a lot of sites out there where there are a lot of people selling tickets like on eBay and they're not able to mark them up. I haven't looked. I don't know what kind of markup some of them have on them. But if I can buy a ticket for 200 and I sell it for 500, then the ticket is underpriced. That's capitalism right there. I would not pay 500. I'm just saying, that's the way. It's the way capitalism works, and $200 is not a cheap ticket, I know, and also it's not too expensive if it sells out in 10 seconds. So, but did you guys have you talked to anybody other than like you said you talked to Skolnick a little bit, but
no, I saw on his Twitter, but no, I haven't talked to anybody personally about buying tickets or anything.
And Joe, have you?
No, I just, like many, I've just been kind of paying attention to Twitter and just seeing the different. I mean, sometimes in this community, whenever there's something going on, we all know different, situations arise. There's it seems like there's, I think it's almost 50-50 a lot of times on different sides of the fence about this, that, and the other. I saw nothing good about EventBrite. I saw nothing, even from big people, real prominent people in the community on down. They just did not like how it was handled, and these are people that dealt with it last year, and are consistently, I'm seeing they hope that they go back to the old system through the store. And it's funny because it seems like people complained about that. And now I guess they see there is a worse option now. So I don't know. I hope that Blizzard listens, because this is a hard enough ticket to get,
right?
And the last thing we need is further complications. I have to give, and I don't have the link on me, and I was actually gonna put it in here, but I didn't. I have to give a shout out to Elvine. He has a website. I think it's LF Blizzcon, or is it LFM Blizzcon? I'm not sure.
Blizzcon.
LFBlizzcon.com, I think. An awesome website set up for people to try and find tickets and to find roommates for hotels and stuff while you're there. The best thing about it is you have to sell them for face value,
right?
That sort of thing. So if you do need stuff, and that's one of the things I love about this community, is that if you didn't get a ticket, I think it seems like there's a good chance that you might find one, throughout the community in some way, shape, or form. People take care of each other. There's people that end up not being able to go, changing their mind, whatever else, and those tickets do float around. So don't lose heart, don't lose faith. Check out that website too. Hit up Elvine on Twitter if I got it wrong, or if you want to just check him out or whatever else. But those kind of resources in this community in general, make these things that sometimes unfortunately crumble before our eyes, make them better. So take advantage of those options. So
yeah, none of us even tried to get tickets, so we're just basically, this is what we've heard and what we've seen on social media and that sort of stuff. But basically, my take on it from everything that I've seen and heard, I hope they go back to the old system.
Right.
I don't understand. The thing I don't understand is that when they said EventBrite would make it easier for them to take tickets away from scalpers, and I don't understand. I don't understand, and granted, I've not thought about it really, but you can stand outside the front door at the convention center and scalp your badge after you go get it.
Right.
I mean, and unless they're talking about the ticket broker type people who buy stuff and sell them, I don't know. I mean, because the other way, you have to have a BattleNet address, and you can't buy. I guess you could just put the same BattleNet address in every time, couldn't you? I don't know. Every time I've ever bought multiple tickets, I had addresses handy to put in there. I don't know if you can put the same one in for all of them, but when I bought tickets before, I had to put 4 BattleNet addresses in. And I don't know how this new system is better for them with fighting scalpers. I really don't know. It could be. It could be a line of shit, too. I don't know. So, anywho, let's move on. Talk about something we actually maybe did read and
okay.
maybe have some experience with and some actual feedback on. We got the Femal Night Elf model revealed in an art craft this week.
What?
And I'm of the opinion that she looks great, except for, and Mitty and I kind of talked about this the other day, I think her hands are comically large. And Mitty was like, well, maybe that's just what night elves are supposed to be. That's fine. That doesn't mean that I can't think they're still comically large.
But look at the reason why you think they look large. I mean, look how blocky they looked in the original image. In the original image, her hands look fat and block. But with the, the remodeled, I mean, they look like fingers now. And yeah, they're a little bit long and they're a little bit big, but like I said, I mean, maybe that's the night elf. I mean,
I'm talking about how
she
wide
has
they are across the back of
pointy
the
and
hand.
nails on her toenails and her nails. I mean, come on.
But I'm talking about how wide they are. From knuckle to knuckle, across the top of the hand. It's as wide as her freaking... It's wider than her elbow. You see what I mean? It's like, it looks freakish to me. And the old model, it looked freakish too. I just kind of chalked it up as the technology of the time when they made the model, and maybe that's what they had in mind for the Night Elf. And otherwise looks great. But to me,
Yeah.
I don't play any female characters, so I don't really care.
From what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, this is probably, and like others have said, this is probably the first model that they have had a lot of positive feedback on. I mean, they had positive feedback on, for the female orcs, etc.
Did they get negative feedback on the Tauren?
No.
Okay, I was going to say.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, some people are bitching about it, because that's what they do. But it's like, I cannot find anything that I don't like about Night Elves, with this remodel, and especially with the female, because I really want to go back and be Alliance now.
Well, there was some initial negative feedback, and that's that Night Elves are supposed to have fangs. And they're not in this, and I don't have Twitter in front of me, so I don't remember his name, but the artist was like, no, what you saw was early work, they do have fangs, and he showed a screenshot.
Right, it's Chris Robinson. Actually, the tweet's just below in the second link.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That has that actual final version of the Night Elf female will had canine teeth like this. So, and that's something, I mean, I can't remember where I was reading, but they were talking about like Illidan has the fangs, and I'd never really thought about the fangs. I don't know. I didn't know they really had, intrinsically as a race, they had fangs, but apparently that's the case. So, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, like, I never thought about it either, but if you, because then there were people saying, what do you mean, Night Elves don't have fangs, blah, 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 and somebody just posted the Warcraft 3 box art. It's like, there you go.
Boom.
Whoops.
And what I like about this, and especially this model, is just when you look at the old model and you see the Night Elf smirk, just the way that her smirk is, with the new facial expressions, that really brings out that smile and that smirk, and I love it.
Yeah, those little details, they're the new models. Just like, look at how we were able to goof around with the Tauren one with French toast and everything else. They have so many little details where they can articulate little emotions so easily now. It's gonna be great.
I really cannot wait when the animations come out for the Night Elf, so I can do the clap. I love the Night Elf female clap. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Night Elves because it was the first race I ever rolled, so I wanted to see. But what I think for me that stands out about the old to the new comparison is I don't feel like there's a huge difference. A lot of the changes I've seen, you could sort of see, well, they did this, and this is kind of emphasized or whatever else. There seems to be at least one thing that kind of sticks out. Here, it just seems like here's a high-res version of what we've always had, which is kind of nice.
I felt that way about all of the models that we've seen. Except the Forsaken. I have a problem with the Forsaken that we've seen.
I think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
They're decaying symmetrically.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. They don't look. If it's going to be symmetrical, it doesn't look like a decaying body to me. I mean, I know it's a video game and it's make believe and all that kind of shit, but okay, come on. People were talking about whether or not fucking Night Elves have fangs, and people are going to bitch at me about thinking the Forsaken are not looking.
Nobody's
right.
bitching at you. Look at the defensive. Come on, it's all right.
No, so another thing that I noticed was and that they talked about was the ears on the female Night Elf, because they used to look like, here are these two ears that we just stuck on this Night Elf. the ears with the remodel actually look like it's a part of the Night Elf now.
Yeah, true.
So I can't wait.
I like how they go down when she's doing the yell too. So that's
Yeah.
another little, part of the animation that shows that personality. So, and you know what? And here's a question for you guys: do you remember when Blizzard took a hike over to Pixar? This was like I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that. They took like a little tour. They went over there and hung out with Pixar for a bit. I think we're seeing some of the results of what they were asking. I think. They talked about it. I don't know how much they talked about it on Twitter as if it was just like a tour or whatever else, but it definitely was a business trip. I think this is what we're seeing. And I just thought about this the other day. I'd like to go back and find out when that occurred, because I bet you we're seeing a little bit of they probably were asking questions about animations and little, ways to, show emotion and stuff with, little movements and stuff. I bet we're seeing some of the results of that trip. I no way to know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it.
You sure? Maybe they. Well, we don't know the details, right? Because you don't know who went from Blizzard, right?
I can't.
They could have been shopping for a special effects shop for the movie, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That certainly could be. I mean, part of it, but it could have been a lot of stuff. It could have been a lot of things. You're right. I mean, it could have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But I don't know. I just have a feeling this looks kind of Pixar-ish in some ways.
Yeah, and Revenar is saying Blizzard may be using some of the same software Pixar uses, and that's true. They probably are. They're using probably Maya and 3D Studio Max, and
Yep. I'm just curious and that's the kind of thing I like about stuff like this is. Once this is all said and done, maybe a year from now or else, maybe we'll learn more about how this process occurred, and we'll find out if that had anything to do with it and how, to what extent. I just find that fascinating. So,
Chief Vol'jin says that poop will have more polygons. I'm actually hoping we won't have poop quests. We're going to have at least one.
I hope we have some peanut butter quest.
Moving on.
Yeah, I think maybe we should move on.
So, moving on. Cloud Serpent writing change in 6.0, which...
Yay.
I just now saw this. I'm like, what's the point? Watcher Dev says, in 6.0, Cloud Serpents no longer require Cloud Serpent writing. A little too late. And why, when we're not going to have flying in Draenor?
Because we have flying everywhere else in the world.
Well,
except for Exodar and Ghostland.
What they want us to go back to old content?
They always have wanted us to go back to old content. Why do you think they keep putting pets in the old raids?
Okay.
They want people to go back and do achievements and all that kind of stuff. It's part of the reason that stuff is there, and I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I don't really expect somebody who starts in Warlords and they're basically just going to be blitzing through the missed content. Really wouldn't expect them to go grind a bunch of dailies to get, the flying and all that kind of stuff. But I think it, maybe from the beginning should have been account wide.
Yeah, I figured that would be altered at some point, so I'm not terribly surprised, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that are excited about this, so
yeah.
But I've done it. I think I've done it on at least one, maybe two alts.
I've done it two.
With that, I don't know what it is. The thing you purchase that increases the rep. It doesn't take long at all. I've done it in one day actually. I've done the dailies and then the dailies or whatever, and then the eggs. I think it takes about 14 eggs. And nobody's doing it anymore, so the eggs are just hanging out. Right. And I actually have a really good video on how to find the eggs and lowering your graphics to the point where you don't see all the ground clutter and the foliage, so the eggs are just kind of sticking out, so it's really easy to find.
Yeah, and I think I'm probably going to do it on one more tune, just so I can have all three colors. Because that's why I did it on two. I did it on my DK, and then I did it on my Priest, and I think I'm gonna do it. I gotta go look see which one I don't have. But because you only get to pick one of them when you complete the quest chain,
Right.
And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. So
Right.
yeah, Arlene, it is Grand Commendation is what you're thinking of that gives you the extra.
I think it's 500 gold or something like that to sell that little, whatever they give you to get you the mount at the end if you don't need it.
Right.
So it's a little chunk of change. So, oh goodness. So yeah, I'm glad that's gonna be gone just because I do have those mounts, and especially like if you get what the hell is the Hulan? You get Hulan off Timeless Isle, and then you can't use it.
Right.
That, I mean, I can understand if it was just the ones from the rep and whatever else, but then you get those special ones, or Alani or something like that, and you can't use it on your ults and stuff like that. That would be, I haven't gotten any of those nicer ones like that, or even, I guess, the one from Mogashan Vaults, I would assume, requires the same flying. It's a serpent, so that would suck to have that not be able to fly it on an alt because of the rep. So yeah, for those mounts specifically, I'm happy for people to be able to not have to deal with that. Otherwise, I didn't mind it too badly. But so.
Well, I mean, and for those people, they could just say, well, in 6.0, it's account wide. So that way, if you did get it on an alt, But I mean, here's the thing: is you could go get the serpent flying or whatever it's called on one tune, and then farm up, do an achievement on another tune, and that tune didn't have it, but your other tune that does have the flying, because mounts are account wide, right? I'm assuming those mounts are the achievement mounts account wide? They have to be. The other achievements are. Like, I got the Violet Protodrake on all my tunes. So,
yeah, you have them, you just can't use them.
I can. I use the Violet Protodrake on all my tunes, and I've
only... No. I'm talking about this Cloud Serpent ones. Right, get them all account wide. Yeah, you just can't use them. That's the thing. It's like a tease. It's like, hey, I could. Oh.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they just made that achievement or whatever that skill account wide, I don't know, and I don't really care. Except I'd like to have my however much gold back that I spent on it and all that stuff. But
yeah, I can tell you right away. Back in vanilla, it was 1,000 gold to get your epic writing and your epic mount. Basically, total I think is 1,000, and then they dropped it down to, I think at the time, like 300 or 200 total. Of course, it's much less now, but even at that time, I actually put a ticket in requesting a refund.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they basically said, sorry. I was totally new. I don't know if I had ever put a ticket in before at that time, but I was just like, you know what? If you're going to change something like that and what the difference is and my account, bought it or whatever else, it wouldn't be a bad thing to just kick back what you changed. It was at that point that the cold evolutionary, the evolution kind of, what is the word? Characteristics of a MMO really smacked me in the face.
Right.
Like, yeah. Okay, this is a harsh bit of reality I'm taking, and this pill I'm swallowing, so...
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I
Peter Dinklage, let's carry on.
That man's Dinklage. I mean, what? What do we do? I'm suddenly...
We're talking about the next
Sorry.
thing.
I was suddenly in another world.
It's your show.
Yeah, it's good. Go for it, Joe, because I just closed the tab.
Okay, well, let's open the tab and go with the new mount tease that we got here on Twitter yesterday. This I found interesting because there's going to be all kinds of speculation as to where this thing's coming from and what its point is, and of course the little text that comes with it. It looks kind of like the Ravengers in Outlands.
In Hellfire?
In Hellfire, just kind of... on steroids, and kind of like a Diablo kind of feel to the front with a big skull on it to me.
Yeah.
But again, the text says, "Is that a saddle?" Which I'm assuming they're talking about right there in the middle. So obviously we're riding that thing. So it's a mount of some sort. Where is it coming from? And it's obviously specifically, unless we see wings sprout from it somehow, which we've seen before, but it's specifically a ground mount from what I can tell. So,
Yeah, I've seen people
curious.
speculate that it's going to be in the store. I personally think this is the collector's edition, deluxe edition mount.
We already have that.
We do?
The Dread Raven.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, because people are getting it when they're
that's
buying
right. That's right. Never mind then. Yeah.
Bro was losing his damn mind in the chat room.
So what?
I said Bro was losing his mind in the
Oh.
chat room. Call it the Savage.
The Savage.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And see, I don't pay attention to the mounts that other people have. So, and I don't pre-order. Well, I get collector's edition, so I have to wait. So I didn't realize. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, you're right though. That it is the. So I don't know. We've already had a Warlords themed mount in the store, and that was the dragon that had the fucking jets on it.
Dread Raven confirmed. But look, Savager and the hashtag Savager from both Chief Vol'jin and Ro. So,
We don't want to call it Savage or
No, but
Savager because that's a synonym for being manly, and we
But
don't want to
Roach
do
is
that.
see, but look, they're both using the same hashtag, and Chief Vol'jin's encouraging Ro and everything else. See, Rojan Man confirmed. Right there. There's the conspiracy confirmed. I'm calling it now.
It's
So okay, then where do you think this mount's coming from?
I don't know. To me, I mean, this is if you want to just talk speculation and some like far off dream, is I would like to see another mount come out of a dungeon or something. Let's say like the original Raven Lord. I don't think. I mean, where's it in Kata? Is there really a lot of mounts that you farm from Kata? I guess there's the dungeon ones in Vortex Pinnacle and Stonecore. And of course, Firelands has one. Well, I guess Firelands has just, well, I don't remember what the drop rate is on that. Of course, Heroic Madness is like a 1% or whatever it is now for.
Yeah, that got knocked to the ground.
Yeah. But I like them doing that sort of thing to encourage people to go back and farm and stuff like that. So I would like to see. I thought the Dread Raven was going to be, that. I thought it was going to be kind of like, an updated for of the Raven Lord. Of course, now that's shot down. So I don't know. I'm really curious, but I'm thinking this is coming in game. I don't think this is going to be a store thing. I think this is somehow going to be a drop or something. I hope anyway. I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like what what mounts that we saw. Well, and it could just be a random mount too, because how far ahead of time did they show us the Yak mount for Mists?
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because they're so. It still amazes me. We are halfway through May and we're still like, we don't know that much. There's no beta, so I mean, who knows? We could see this, in game as some random mount or whatever else in beta, and I still say in about 2 weeks when WildStar launches, but that's my feeling on it.
We'll see.
Exactly.
I've literally gotten to the point where like beta will get here when it gets here, and I mean I've always kind of been that way, but I don't care anymore.
Aww.
No, it's seriously because I'm like it's summertime. I got shit I want to do.
That's true.
And
Let's go on my motorcycle.
Yeah, I want to go ride my motorcycle. I want to, go spend time with my girlfriend and her kids, and it's just I got shit going on. I want to do. I want to play Heroes. Not if I want to play Heroes. And try to suck a little less at Hearthstone. It just I don't know. I'm like I was since BlizzCon like beta, and now I'm just kind of like whatever, it'll come when it comes, and then we're still not going to know a whole lot about the game even when the beta's out because I'll just go fucking change zones like they did with Jade Forest, so.
Lig wants to ride his bicycle. He wants to ride his bike. Sorry. Thanks, Ro. I know. I'm sorry. WoW's my bread and butter, and Warlords has got me jacked. So I'm still like, I feel like that guy who's just, one of these days that girl will call me back. It's been like January. I'm just like, she'll call me. I swear she will. I know.
Well, no, I mean, dude, I'm jazzed about Warlords. Like, I finished War Crimes. I started reading it Friday. And no, I'm sorry. I started reading it Saturday, and I finished it Sunday. And that's insanely quick for me to read a book. Insanely quick. I'm not gonna say I couldn't put it down, but I didn't wanna. And it was really good. It's probably I'm in the minority. Like, I don't think Arthas is the best Warcraft book ever. Like I know a lot of people think, because to me it's Darth Vader. I've heard that story before. This is the best Warcraft book I've ever read. It's better than Lord of the Clans, which was probably my favorite until this. But it is my favorite Warcraft book ever. There's a twist in it that has apparently been spoiled. I didn't realize it got spoiled, but you kind of see it coming if you pay attention to it. I'm not going to spoil anything in the story, but it really did. It got me jazzed for Warlords, and it also got me bummed that Warlords is so far out.
It's not that far out anymore. It really isn't. That's the odd thing.
How do you know?
Because it's at least December.
Okay,
and
so
December's
it could be
not
7.
That far away.
It's 7 months from now, dude.
Yeah, and you know how fast 7 months goes by? Think about it. When was BlizzCon?
True.
It doesn't seem like that far away or long ago, but in a blink, it's been 7 months. So seriously,
I tell you what, that's going to be one long fucking blank of Siege of Orgrimmar for the next 7 months.
Well, no, trust me, I understand that completely. But no, I that's why I say that it will be coming sooner than you think, and I think, well, not soon. I think because we've been thinking for a long time, but I really see it something, whether it's alpha, to fan sites and stuff like Heroes or whatever, will be right around when WildStar launches, because they'll want those people that normally would be streaming WoW and are moving on to WildStar. They want those people streaming Warlords. So we'll see.
Yeah, and one like Ro pointed out, something we didn't have in the show notes that we kind of talked about early, was we're getting more upgrades for our gear. There is a new patch coming for 5.4.8 that's going to allow you 2 more levels of upgrades for your PvE gear. And I'm in favor of this. I mean, it's basically the progressive nerf that they did in Dragon Soul, and they did they did a buff in ICC, but still, it's a progressive nerf. It's just now it's up to you on how much it gets nerfed. And it's basically what it's for. And there's also something where you can use timeless coins. I don't remember how many, or if they even said. I think it was 1,000.
3,000.
3,000.
3,000. Yeah.
To give yourself 100 valor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many coins I have on my various tunes. That is bind on pickup too, so it's not a BOA item, which I think is kind of shitty.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that actually.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. There's people out there who say it sucks for world PvP. Maybe it does. I want a PvE server. So, sorry, but I don't really mind. I don't care. Because they're scaling gear for instanced PvP, right? They're doing some kind of a gear scaling. Is that true? Or is that just ranked?
I don't know.
And maybe I'm crossing wires, and it's something they talked about for Warlords. I'm not sure. But 500 Valor for 3,500 coins. Yeah, the Celestials Archon Artist. 3,000 coins for 100 Valor, but 500 Valor for 3,500 coins. Okay. I guess you do get a discount for buying in bulk. But
the Celestials are Costco.
Right? Okay. Yeah, but okay, it's all about the Valor cap. They did say that if it won't let you go over. So like, if you only have 80 Valor left until cap and you use this, it's not going to put you 20 over the cap. You have the hard cap still. But yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things that I'm in favor of because what are you using your Valor for right now? Like, I still have some items I can upgrade, but you're not buying gear with it. You're upgrading gear already, right?
But there are people wanting to get the legendary quest done, and you do have to get that 3,000 Valor still.
I'm done with the legendary quest, and except for like a ring, that's the only thing that I can upgrade and use my Valor points on, and that's a 540 ring, and I do flex, so
we're going to be able to upgrade the legendary cloak as well. It's getting two levels to bump. So, yeah, I plan on doing some item upgrades here and there, but I don't know, there were people saying that now people are going to feel obligated to cap. I never really did. So, I never felt obligated to cap, and I did. When we were running normal mode raids, I did cap, but I never felt obligated to. Capping was relatively easy to do. But what was that cheer for, Maddie?
When you read your email.
Oh, yeah. I think Seraphis called me earlier today, and now this is really interesting for people to listen to about shit that we aren't...
Sorry, all will be exposed later.
Yeah.
This is not the conversation you're looking for.
And to quote Ghostbusters, and you don't want us exposing ourselves.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. This patch is I think they said it's on the PTR now. I don't know if the PTR is up and running, but that's going to be there. And the thing is like upgraded items. Like once 6.0 hits, the upgrades are going away and reforging is going away. I read that upgraded items will remain upgraded, but I don't know if reforges will stay in place or if the gear will revert. I got a feeling it's going to revert because your reforging hit and stuff, and the stats are just going away. So I got a feeling that any reforges you have will just revert back to the base gear. But the upgrades will still be in place because that changes the budget for the stats. But there were people talking about, well, is it worth spending all this Valor and upgrading my gear when I'm just going to replace it with quest greens? You're going to do that with fucking heroic raid gear anyway. With quest greens, maybe blues. Okay, yeah, you're going to go a little further than a normal mode or a flex mode raider. But you're still going to do that anyway. What difference does it make? I don't understand the logic of people analyzing it unless they just want to know. I don't see how it's beneficial other than scratching the curiosity itch, You guys are both being really fucking quiet.
I'm just listening to you. It's their dulcet tones.
Oh, okay.
It's like an ASMR video. I'm going to fall asleep. No, honestly, when I was thinking about show notes today and thinking about just the show in general, and maybe you want to, we've got 10 minutes, whatever else. My thing was, this is the last one until we do our charity live stream. I was thinking we should make this like a big party for the live stream. We talk about that and things like that. I was just part of the reason I thought that, though, not only because that is the case. Part of it is though, it's just, we're starting to run, as far as I'm concerned, as far as me personally, I'm starting to run out of stuff to talk about. This stuff is just, we've been really good, whereas other shows have even taken breaks and whatever else. We've been good about keeping things going, but I'm getting to the point where I'm like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I apologize if I'm a little quieter than normal, but it's just I'm not sure what to. I mean, and from that matter, in the past few weeks, if there hasn't been a major explosion within the community over something controversial, I'm kind of at a loss. I'm so used to there being something at this point, so I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, they need to. Well, I say need, like, we need them to start giving us stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything. I mean, and they're doing a pretty good job of it, really, with the art crafts here and there and the water coolers. I mean, the rating water cooler was, I think, excellent. I'm sure. The problem with it is it's a trickle right now, so all podcasters and YouTubers, we're all talking about the same thing. And when you're, even though I don't consider other podcasters competition, we are competing for the listener's time, right?
Mm.
And I'm sure, well, and I don't listen to as many podcasts as I used to, but man, I can't tell you how many times I'd hit fast forward when it's the same shit I heard on the other 3 podcasts I just listened to.
Right.
So I mean, I know it's probably not fun for listeners either, but yeah, no, I'm with you, Joe. It's one of those where it's kind of a dry spell of information, and that's why I think that's one reason I'm like, yes, beta. So, but yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the live stream. It'd be kind of out of order, I guess, for our show or our show notes. Well, let's just go ahead and follow the order of the show notes. Why don't we?
Okay.
Whatever.
When are we ending this poll, by the way? Shouldn't we be done tonight?
Tonight is the end for this. So this is
yes. So we're ending it like right now.
Sure.
We're gonna. Okay.
Let's end it right now.
That's where I'm going to. Yeah. Like I really want this ended because I'm gonna have to deal with the consequences. But whatever. At this point, I'll come to the end of the show. Get the last 7 minutes, folks. We've got the poll for what sex my troll hunter will be. Not having what sex my troll hunter will be. Vote for position. And no, you will.
Last one in.
Bang, zoom. So yeah, so you guys have 7 minutes, now 6, to vote if the troll hunter will be female.
Oh, dude, we're so totally getting male or hating on that.
Oh man, way to go.
Male or female?
Female, please.
Go vote. I'm assuming we put this in the chat by now. And we have not.
Yet.
Oh, Revenar did earlier, but I'll put it again. But yeah, go check out this poll. Go vote. So far, female is winning. So
The reverse troll task position.
Oh
Nice.
God, this is what happens. So yes, go vote there real quick to find out which sex it's going to be. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this except for one last thing, and that is for the name. So we still have to figure out how we're doing that.
And we have 4 days, 3 days in which to do that.
Yes, we do. So, but everything else is chosen. My 90 is going to be a troll hunter, horde side, of course, and probably a female, unless there's a massive surge in votes for the male.
It's 61% to 39%.
Yeah, it's going to have to be quite. It's going to be. Oh God, it's going to have to be 8 votes just to tie it. So at this point, it looks like it's going to be a lady. Dude, look like a lady.
I want to thank Revenar for doing all these straw polls for us.
Absolutely.
When we just kind of started, like that's how this whole thing started. We were just kind of talking about it, like, oh, we ought to do this, and then boom, there's a link to a straw poll in the chat room.
Yep.
And so it just kind of. I want to thank Revenar for one starting it because it kind of became a thing, and then also just keeping it going. Every time we needed a new straw poll, he was like, "I'm on it." So, big thanks to him for doing that.
Absolutely, yeah. It evolved through conversation, and all of a sudden, like you said, and he was just like, "Oh, really? Bam! Here's a straw poll," and then it became a thing.
Right.
It was just it was just like talk, and then it became a poll, and then it became real, and I'm like, "All right, we're doing this now."
And then it became a giant regret of yours that you have yet another team you're going to have to level to max.
No, it's not. It really the only, like I said, the only regret is lately I started thinking, I don't have a Tauren Paladin. I'm like, and I'm probably never gonna level one because I don't know why. I've tried it 3 times I think, and I just have not been able to level one. I don't know why. It's really odd. I can level everything. I've leveled all these tunes. For some reason, Tauren Paladin, I'm just like, eh.
Okay, I can tell you right now, I've tried to level a Tauren Paladin like twice, and the reason I do not have one, I do, but he's like 23 or something like that. I don't like healing. I don't like melee DPS. So that means I'm going to tank with him, and I'm fine with that. But the Tauren is so freaking big, you can't see anything anyway.
Big and kind of slow, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I love their lore and everything. It just doesn't feel right to me, and I don't know why. But I'd love to have one at Cap.
I mean, I do like. I switched Spexident from Blood Elf to Tauren, and while I do love the Tauren, she just feels really like you said, slow and bulky. And I was thinking about switching her back to Blood Elf.
Well, I love the Tauren. I really do. Like if I had a shaman on the Horde side, he would probably be a Tauren. But to tank with him, it was just because you're already limited with vision anyway when you're tanking, right? Now your tune is taking up so much of your screen, especially the leveling dungeons where the roof seems kind of low and it forces your camera down. I don't know. I struggled with the Tauren, and I leveled a Space Goat as a tank, and they're not that much smaller. I think the Tauren are just wider. But anyway,
so yeah.
But as Joe was saying, during our marathon, which I'm getting ready to tell you a little bit about, we are going to still got to figure out a way, but we're going to let somebody name that tune. That we're doing the straw polls one for Joe's seemingly female troll hunter. But that is starting Saturday. So today's Wednesday as of this recording. So Saturday, May 17th, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we are starting our 24-hour marathon to benefit Child's Play. Last year, we set a goal of $1,000, and we exceeded it by quite a bit. I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say it was almost $1,400 that we raised. That generosity, you guys contributing, has kind of made us push the bar this year, push the envelope, and we are shooting for $2,500. We're going to put a link in the show notes where you can get to it. If you go to our website, it's pretty obvious. It's along the top. It says Child's Play Marathon. You can donate now if you want. If you're not going to be there Saturday and but you want to contribute and you can't be there for the marathon, the widget's there. You can donate. The money goes straight to Child's Play. We don't see a dime of it. Thank God. I wouldn't want to deal with that. And Medi just put it in the chat room. We have a bunch of stuff planned. We got a Horde side and a Alliance side flex mode on Open Raid, and I think they're full. Are they not, Medi?
They are full. I still have people on standby listed, and that can message me because we have a lot of people that may or may not be able to make it. So, all
right, cool. We're going to be probably playing some Hearthstone. We're going to try to get some heroes in. It'll probably be late in the night because there's some of the folks from Team Fert that are in Heroes Alpha that they're on the West Coast. So we'll probably do that kind of late if you're an East Coaster. Playing some Diablo. We got to play some Diablo and take advantage of this double chance at legendaries, right?
Sure.
Just doing achievement runs, transmog runs, whatever. We're just going to be geeking out playing some Blizzard games and trying to raise some awareness and raise some money for Child's Play charity.
we do have some giveaways to give away. Dun dun.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
A couple of premium accounts that are going to be provided by Ask Mr. Robot. Thank you very much to Ask Mr. Robot for that. Greatly appreciate that. We had several people that want to remain anonymous that have donated some battle pets. Also, maybe some pets and mounts and helms from the Blizzard store. Maybe. Some bracelets that I'm making. They're paracord bracelets for Horde and Alliance, and whoever wins those, I'll get those made and sent out. And I think Ro is going to be doing the Hearthstone part, and he has Hearthstone pillow and Hearthstone necklaces to give away.
Very cool.
I'm done. I took that over. Sorry.
But yeah, I just wanted to, kind of fill people in on Child's Play if they're not familiar with it. I mean, I think we talked about this every week. Child's Play raises money through cash donations, and they do other things too. They collect toys and games and that kind of stuff. But they benefit I want to say it's 70 different children's hospitals around the world, and basically they just give these kids something to do while they're stuck in the hospital being sick, and just something to take their mind off of it. It's a very worthwhile charity. If you go, look at some of the overhead on the different charities, they are ranked one of the highest on how much money that gets contributed actually goes to the intended target or the intended beneficiary, rather than them making a bunch of money off of it. That's one of the reasons I like this charity is it's I think it's like almost 90 cents on the dollar actually makes it to a hospital.
Yes, and what Joe also said is maybe might be doing some onward leveling.
Oh yes, yeah, we might be doing
possibly.
some onward. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, me and Zark's,
I have no problem with it.
Leveling for half hour, whatever it might be. Give people a taste.
I have absolutely no problem with it. We're going to have to, with as many people we're going to be involved with the marathon and the way games work, we're going to have to rotate people in and out anyway and give somebody a break for a little bit. So, sure. I mean, Ro's going to be here. You're maybe going to be here. So I have no problem giving my headset, keyboard, and mouse over to somebody and me going and like grabbing a piece of pizza, whatever. Right. So
I will gladly fall asleep around 3 o'clock in the morning if that's okay with you guys. No? Okay.
Just leave your mic unmuted so we can have you snoring on the stream.
Dude, I'm totally going to snore.
Sweet.
I do.
Anyway, guys, that's it about the marathon. Please swing by. Like I said, we started at 11 o'clock Eastern U.S. time. If you're on the West Coast, that's 8 o'clock a.m. for you. So we'll be going till 8 o'clock Pacific time the Sunday morning. If you're in a different part of the world, Google it. I'm sorry, I don't know all the time zones, but except in the United States. But yeah, it's swing by, come hang out with us. Never know, maybe one of those flex runs. Maybe we have a lot of people don't show up, and we can start pulling people in from the chat room. So no promises on that, but just saying, if you're not there, you're not able to join us if there is an opening. So. Anyway, that's it about the marathon. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to. I know this is going to sound weird the way I'm about to say it, but I can't think of another way to say it. I can't wait to get it done. Like I had so much fun doing it last year. I can't wait for it to get here, and like that feeling at the end when it's all done, you're like, wow, we actually pulled that off, and then you go past straight to fuck out because you've been awake for 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried about that because I've got to work the next morning, Monday morning. I'm like,
yeah, but you can crash for 3 or 4 hours, and
yeah, I know, but I'll be worthless Monday morning. I'll be there. I'll take up space. I'll breathe their air, but I'll just be like, yeah, I'll get that later. So look at Poikle. If you guys, it will keep you guys awake after laughing till your side split of Joe and Zarxis do onward. This is sweet. You guys are so awesome.
Yeah, and it's still unknown. Like if my girlfriend's gonna be here, and I'm like, you're more than welcome to come if you want, but I'm not sure you're gonna want to stay after we get started.
Yeah, meeting the folks and everything. That's great.
So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up. What do you guys think?
I just think we need to, if we have a bumper or anything we need to do or something, we could do like the whole Office Space thing. Yeah, we're gonna need you to come in on Saturday. That should be our whole thing for the...
Dude, write this down and we'll do that for next time.
Okay, I'll make a meme. I'll be right back. Good.
There's just so much excitement going on in my email right now that I'm just...
That you're yawning?
My nipples are just bursting with happiness.
But did I just hear you yawning?
No, I was like, oh my god.
Oh, okay.
My nipples are bursting with happiness.
Yes.
Ow. Alright.
I may need to dip them in peanut butter. Okay, there was one last one. Okay. Yeah, let's get on with it. Get on with it. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Leave a review or a thumbs up if you are so inclined. If you're listening via download, you can join our chat room. We are live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays at epicpodcast.com/live or twitch.tv/epicpodcast. Epic Podcast is a member of Catalyst Gaming Media. Be sure to check out other podcasts, YouTubers, bloggers, webcomics, and more at catalystgamingmedia.com. Also, be sure to check out the forums on Catalyst's site and participate in the growing community there. What a tea is so good. You can check out our website at epicpodcast.com. If you have any questions, comments, show ideas, or hate mail, you can send that at epicpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube at /The Epic Podcast. You can find Joe's videos and stream on youtube.com/WowMardian. Wow, that's a lot of shit to say. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, try and do it as Katie every week.
Righto, you can find our show on Twitter at epic_podcast. I don't know what accent I'm doing.
It's a horrible one, whichever it is.
I know.
Just became a chimney sweep. The F.
You can find Lignar on Twitter at Lignar, WowMardian, and Metacakes, all on Twitter. So, there we go.
I guess that is it for this week, right? Anything else we want to add? Any peanut butter jokes or anything before?
No,
jokes? No.
Be like Austin Powers, and
I think I'm good. I just want to end it on Peter Dinklage.
So many nipple burstings and peanut butter. I'm spent, baby. That was horrible.
Wow. All right. Well, until next time, guys. Have fun a while, y'all.
Bye.